Welcome to FBBForum. I'm very pleased to welcome the stunning NPC women's bodybuilding competitor, Jane Akarapreecha, also known as Big Jane on Instagram, to the podcast. Jane had an incredible showing at the North Americans this past Friday in Pittsburgh and placed second in the heavyweights in a very tough battle with Brittany Parrish. And this was only Jane's second national show. Her first was at the NPC Nationals in 2022. And I really think she's going to get her pro card soon because she looks amazing. Welcome, Jane, to FBBForum. I'm really pleased that you could join me here.
Hi everyone.
Thank you.
So what's the first question you want to ask me?
Sure. So I was curious, did you have an athletic or a sports background before you started in bodybuilding?
I actually don't have anything before I start bodybuilding. I
Really?
was a nerd. I was a nerd in high school, and then after I graduated from high school and college, I just like to work out. That's about it. Yeah, that's how I start.
Wow, that's really cool. Yeah, you
Yeah,
look amazing. Yeah. You
thank
look like you've
you.
been working out for a long time.
Actually, I just started in 2019.
Really? Wow.
Yeah,
Wow, very impressive.
thank you.
Now, how did you get started in bodybuilding and who convinced you to do your first bodybuilding contest?
So I got out from a bad relationship, right? I
Uh-huh.
was kind of depressed at that time in 2016. So I was like drinking, like drinking every weekend.
Oh, yeah.
So I got into like do some kind of like a drugs. So I was in like addicted to it for like about 3 or 4 months.
Oh,
And
wow.
then I lose like that it wasn't me, like why am I doing this? It's because like I was breaking up with that guy at that point, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I told myself like, you know what, I gotta find something to get out from it. And
Mm-hmm.
then I found bodybuilding. So I just start working out and go back to the gym again. That's when I start see myself to be better than before. So I start bodybuilding and stop drinking like completely. So I've been sober since like 2010 now, until now.
Wow, that's terrific. That's really
So
good.
if I look back at it, I feel thankful for it to become who I am now. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's terrific. That's great, Jane. Yeah, I've heard that from some other um bodybuilders that bodybuilding kind of helped them get out of addiction. And it's um
Yeah, I think to something, like either like you want to see change, in your body. Some people want to look better. It depends on the person, right? You know,
sure.
yeah.
That's terrific though. I think that's really good for you. Now, I was curious when you first started competing, did you have a fitness role model and do you have the same role model now?
You know, my coach, the one before this one, Michaela Icon,
Yeah.
you know, she was my coach. So I was look up to her and it was like, wow, she worked really hard. And then I say like, oh, I want to do woman physique that time. And then I reached out to her and I always look up to her.
She's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, she's amazing.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, she's I'm impressed by how well she's done in women's bodybuilding and become a top competitor for sure. She's really impressive.
Yeah. Yeah, I see her like progress from like way back before, and now it's just crazy transformation.
I
Yeah,
know. Yeah, she's
yeah,
phenomenal. Yeah.
yeah.
I know she's relatively close by in Bartow too. Do you still get to see her?
I haven't seen her because I know she like to keep it to herself a lot.
Oh
So,
yeah.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
So I don't want to like bother her. Yeah,
Oh, sure. I understand. Yeah, she's
yeah,
very focused. Yeah.
yeah.
Now, I was curious when you first went on stage, was it kind of nerve-wracking being up there in a bikini, or it didn't bother you
Um,
too much?
oh yes, I was so, you know, like why am I in a bikini and let the judge see me, you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Grand, yeah.
How do you feel now? Do you feel less nervous now you've had a couple shows under your belt?
Yeah, this show, the show I compete last weekend, I feel calm. I don't feel nervous at all. I
Okay,
feel good. Yeah,
very good. Yeah. You looked really confident on stage. Your posing, like I said earlier, was just really amazing.
thank you.
Now, I was curious, what was your experience like at the North Americans? Did you enjoy the show and did you enjoy meeting the other competitors?
It was fun. I liked the show a lot. I really liked she was my teammate, right? So we went to train together, because I feel like when you meet someone who has like same mindset, you know, and she very humble person. I really like to meet people like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because when you go to the show, some people would be like, don't talk to me. I want to focus on myself, you know? But
yeah,
she really sweet. She like me and her help each other in the backstage. I think that's how you're supposed to be, right? You know, like you want to see another person winning, you know? Yeah.
I agree. Yeah.
So yeah,
And I think that's somewhat true of some of the women. I think from what I've heard that there's pretty collaborative, cooperative environment for the most part.
yeah, yeah,
I think maybe the men are a little bit more competitive. Sometimes they're a little bit meaner backstage, maybe.
yeah. So when I get up on the stage, I like I like everything about it, the crowd, the judge look at me, I'm just like happy to be up there.
Hmm.
Yeah,
That's great. Yeah, you really stood out on stage, I think. You look terrific.
thank you.
And you told me a little sneak preview of where you're going to compete next, but where are you competing next?
So I'm gonna go to Olympia, I'm sure, in 8 weeks in Orlando.
Terrific. That's great.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it.
That's great. So you could earn your pro
Yes,
card there, maybe.
yes. After last show, I know what I need to work on.
That's great. Yeah. You said you're going to stay with your folks in Tampa until that show, so you don't have to commute back and forth from Hawaii, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna stay in Tampa.
That's great. Yeah, Tampa is a really supportive bodybuilding community too.
Yeah, I agree. Hawaii is nice, but it's just um too small in like bodybuilding.
It seems kind
Yeah,
of isolated too.
yeah,
That's great. No, that's terrific. Yeah, Tampa is a really good place for bodybuilding, I think. So yeah, that's good that you're going to be able to stay.
mm-hmm.
Now, I was curious, when you turn pro, do you hope to stay in women's bodybuilding division? Or would you consider women's physique?
I'm gonna stay in women bodybuilding.
Great.
Yeah, I belong to that class. Yeah. I feel more confident more than I compete in women physique.
That's great. But
Yeah,
I do think that bodybuilding suits your physique better too. I think you're better
yeah.
with that. Yeah. Now, did the judges at North Americans give you kind of feedback on where you need to improve?
I haven't talked to them yet, but I'm actually gonna email them in, a couple of days and see how they say what I need to work on.
Very good.
Yeah, but I know that I need to come leaner and harder to
Hmm.
win the show.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
And so you got 8 weeks too. So you have 8 weeks to get more condition maybe too. So
yeah, I know. I'm staying leaner to the show, so
that's terrific. Yeah. That's what I was thinking.
hmm
You need a little bit more conditioning, but you're going to be
yeah,
unbeatable, I think, when you do. I think you're going to get pro card soon, I bet.
I agree.
That's terrific. Now, In terms of competition prep, what would you say is the toughest aspect of competition prep for you?
The toughest, I think it's all about mental game,
Hmm.
I feel like when you want to be better every day, sometimes overthinking and like being hard on yourself sometimes.
Yeah.
Even I think it's not just me, I think it's everyone too, So you gotta
Hmm.
tell yourself to find that balance, like I do a lot of meditation.
Hmm.
So I usually do like morning and night, and I do a lot of yoga as well.
Hmm. Good.
Um, Whenever I feel like burnt out, I just put my phone away for like a couple hours and then just meditate and read books or something.
Oh,
It
good.
helped me a lot. Yeah.
Help keep you grounded, I bet.
Yes.
Yeah. I think putting the phone away is a good thing too. The phone is addictive in
Yeah.
itself.
Because we always like on social media and look like, oh, what is people doing, right? And it's like, oh, why they say like something to me like this, like that. I
Yeah,
mean, like people are gonna have like opinion about you no matter what. It's just how you accept it.
that's true.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of trolls out there too, and you have to ignore those folks, I
Yeah,
think.
I know.
No, I think that I do know some competitors who don't even look at Instagram for like a month before the show because it's just too distracting, and you get the mental game of comparing yourself to other people too. So that's it's
Right.
probably best to put it away and not stress you out,
Yeah. You
Yeah.
just gotta find what's best for you, right?
Hmm.
Some people like to be on social media, to make them feel better. Some people don't.
Hmm. Yeah. It can be, yeah, it is. I think eventually there'll be studies done to show like how social media changed our brains. It's
Yeah.
it's a crazy, it's so addictive sometimes. It's kind of scary.
Yes.
Now, you mentioned Michaela, but do you have a prep coach currently, a new one?
Yes. Me and Britt, we have the same coach. His name, Branden Ray.
Oh yeah, Branden Ray. He's
Yeah.
great. Yeah.
Yeah. I really like working with him. So he actually my prep coach and posting coach. So he
Oh
does
yeah.
my posting too. Yeah,
Oh, terrific. Yeah, he's a
yeah,
really good coach. He seems to do a really great job with his athletes.
right. I think he's like so detailed and then make sure you feeling good. Don't feel like stressed, on peak week. Because on peak week you feel like you're tired, right?
Hmm.
But he wants to make sure that you stay calm as much as possible.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's great. Yeah.
yes.
I do think that a big part of being a coach is being almost like a therapist. You have to kind of calm
Yeah,
down your athletes, keep them grounded, keep them
yeah.
focused. Yeah.
It's hard to find a coach like they really listen how you feel as well, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, so when I talk to him about like how I feel doing like, prep, he like always like listen to me and make sure like, I'm good. So I really like him.
That's
I
great.
love his I love his diet, cardio and training. It's really fit me.
That's terrific.
Um, I mean like um Michaela is great, but I think you just gotta find like a best coach that fit you and know your body well.
Yeah, I understand that
Yeah,
definitely. Yeah, that's great that you like working with him, and I've just heard so many good things about him.
yeah.
I was curious since you mentioned that. I was curious what other advice could you give to up and coming bodybuilders who are looking for a good coach?
I think you have to make sure that they care about your health is number
Mm,
one,
mm-hmm.
because if you want to live like long term in this sport, you have to make sure your health is good. Um, I think communication is key. You have to make sure you talk to them and they understand you like what you want in your goal and you go from there.
Very good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's good advice. Yeah, I think health is so important too, and making sure that they're looking out for your health and keeping you healthy.
Yes.
Hmm.
And make sure you get like blood work too, you know, after the show and everything.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I know I've heard that too. That's really important, isn't it?
yeah.
Hmm.
Make sure the inside your body is like healthy, you know, because if you don't check up every year, like you don't know what's gonna happen in the future, right?
Hmm. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true. Yeah. No, that's really good advice.
yeah.
Now, I know you mentioned that your parents live in Tampa and you're staying with them now. What are your parents think about your bodybuilding career, and are they supportive?
They very support me. They want to, you know, see me like, you know, win the show. So when I told them like, hey mom, I talked to my mom, right? I want to get big. Is that okay? And she was like, how big? And then I showed a picture and she was like, wow, okay. And she's like, okay, go for it.
Oh, that's great. That's
I
awesome.
know. Yeah. Yeah.
And you have gotten
Because,
pretty big. You've been living up to the Big Jane name, I think.
yeah. Because after I compete women physique, right? And then I found like bodybuilding. And then I feel like, wow, I want to get bigger because I like to look strong, you know?
Yeah.
And then I have to talk to my parents first and to see what they think. Yeah. And they're okay as long as make me happy, you know? That's all matter. You not do bad things, right? You always want to make yourself better, you know?
That's great. That's terrific.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was curious if there was any maybe in terms of Thai culture, is bodybuilding accepted, or is it really even well known in Thai culture?
Um, so I went to Thailand a couple months for prep there. They never see like a woman like to get big, right?
Yeah.
So when they see me in a person and it was like, wow, how like what on her mind? Like why she looks so big?
Uh-huh.
You know, like you know, some people they don't understand it and then they just look at you like, oh, I don't like it, you know. But some people are like, wow, you work hard, you know.
Yeah.
You know, if they have you have like bad side and good side, you know. Um, but I get a lot like people think like I look like a man,
Hmm.
you know.
Uh-huh.
So I try to explain to them like I'm still a female, but I just like to have a lot of muscles. And they just like, oh wow, we never see this before in Thailand, you know. So if I turn pro in women bodybuilding, I'm gonna be first Thai female bodybuilding there.
Really? Oh, that's
Yeah,
terrific.
yes,
Wow.
yeah,
You could maybe inspire more Thai people to, or Thai women to compete maybe too.
yes, yes,
Oh, that's terrific. Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, I always find that kind of fascinating. I think there's certain parts of the US where bodybuilding is accepted, but then there's some
right.
countries like in the Middle East and in Asia that is just not as accepted. So it's kind of, but I think a lot of
Yeah,
bodybuilders want to move to the US because there's more shows and it's also, more popular here too.
yeah. What do you think about that? Like, why some people don't accept women bodybuilding? What do
Hmm.
you think?
Why?
Yeah,
I almost feel like some of the guys are like insecure about it. They're like, oh, she's got bigger muscles than me. And,
yeah,
that's where some of the trolls come through. But I don't know. I admire y'all
yeah.
for doing it because I think it's really impressive and just really attractive too. I think it's amazing to see.
I think it's a lot of hard work to get where you are, you know, for like women bodybuilding. So I give so much credit to like all the women out there, you know?
I agree. No, I totally agree with you on that too. I admire y'all very much.
Yeah,
Because that's a ton of hard work and it's something I don't think I'd be willing to do because I'm a little bit lazy. So I'll live vicariously through y'all. Now, I know that you mentioned you lived in Hawaii. I was curious which island do you live on, and I just want to mention, it's of course very sad about the recent wildfire disaster in Maui and the people that died there.
Yeah, I live on Honolulu. It's like 30 minutes from Maui,
Okay.
like in the big city. Yeah,
Oh, very cool. That's awesome. Yeah.
yeah.
Did you know
I
anybody
live.
that's
Hmm,
on? Did you know anybody that was in the Maui wildfire?
yes, I do. My friend was in that.
Really?
Actually, one of my friend grandma, she was gonna fly into Maui that day,
Oh,
and she had a feeling like something gonna happen, and she just went to Big Island instead of Maui. So that's
wow.
good for her. Yeah, but her house got fire,
Hmm.
so it's sad.
Yeah, that is really sad. Yeah.
Yeah,
There's so many deaths too. I think it was so fast, so
I
yeah.
I I don't know why like they don't warn like something gonna happen in Maui. Like
Hmm.
here, in Florida, if the hurricane happened, they like always warning you, right?
Hmm.
But over there, it's just like it just happened. I was shocked, when I was in Thailand and found out that news.
I know that there was
Yeah,
some criticism for not using the alarms, and
yeah,
one of the officials said, "Oh, I didn't want people thinking it was a tsunami," but I don't know. They should have still used the alarms, I think.
yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, it's kind of sad.
I know.
Yeah. Um, I was curious, do you have a full-time career outside of bodybuilding?
So I do sport therapist, like deep tissue massage, and I
Oh,
also teach yoga as well.
oh, you do?
Yes,
That's great. Are you able to continue doing that while you're in Tampa?
yes. I have a few clients here.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. So I'm working at Powerhouse Gym in Tampa.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
That's great.
I
Very good.
mean, I have I don't have a lot of clients here because I have to start all over again, right? But I mean, if you're good at something, I think people want to come to you anyway, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's
And
very cool.
I'm not good at like, on social media and say like, hey, I'm doing massage here.
Hmm.
Because I post on social media sometime, but not all the time.
Okay.
So I need to work on that to fire like a new client. Yeah.
Yeah. Got to market yourself a little bit.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Well, you're telling folks here now, so people in Tampa got to reach out to
Yeah.
you.
I hope so.
Now, I was curious, do you find it hard to kind of juggle the demands of your work and home life with bodybuilding?
I think you have to find that balance in work and bodybuilding.
Hmm.
Um, if you overworking, you're gonna get so tired after work, right? And you
Yeah.
wouldn't have time to go do like training and then posting. It's like full-time job. You have two full-time job, right?
Hmm.
Bodybuilding and work. So you gotta make sure you do it. I think you just have to plan it. Like how many people you're gonna do a day. Yeah.
That's
But I normally stop working at like 2 weeks out before the show because I just want to rest.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand that. And just the prep can be, especially during peak week, can be kind of tough on you.
Yeah. I don't wanna give massage when I'm tired, but people
Yeah.
can feel it. Yeah.
I totally understand that.
I think yoga is okay. I can teach yoga because it's not a lot of physical work.
Okay.
But massage, I massaged like big guys before, like bodybuilder, like 250 pounds.
Wow.
That's like that's a that's like a lot of work.
I bet. Yeah, I
Yeah,
bet it is.
yeah,
Yeah, and that would be kind of quite a bit of strain on you when you're just tired out from prep too, I imagine.
yes. but you gotta do what you have to do to working, right?
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
that's great. And
yeah,
um, been able to, you can kind of pick your own hours too, since that's kind of nice to have that
yeah,
flexibility.
yeah. Because you work for yourself, so it's good.
Yeah, definitely. That's why, like I said, I'm a little too lazy for bodybuilding because I'm good with one full-time job, but I don't want to.
Yeah.
Now I was curious, when you're out in public, do you like to show off your muscles, or do you kind of prefer to stay covered up?
Um, I like to stay covered up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're kind of modest.
yes.
Very
But
cool.
in the gym, I like to show a little bit. Yeah,
Okay, very cool. Yeah.
yeah. Even
Oh,
like I wear big shirts in outside, they still can see it. It's, they were like, "Wow, look at those legs."
uh-huh.
I was like, "Wow, you still can see it." It's good thing, right?
Your legs are really impressive. Yeah, I would think
Yeah,
you'd
thank
all see
you.
it out in public there with even
Yeah,
coverage. Yeah.
yeah.
Um, Now I was curious, I know you've just competed for a few years now, but if you were like in a leadership position with IFBB or NPC, what would you do to improve the sport of bodybuilding, and how would you try to make the sport better?
I think we have to stay humble
Hmm.
when I think like if you compete for a long time, just start it. You have to stay humble and but stay in your own lane. Do
Hmm.
you? That's like simple.
I like that. Yeah,
Yeah,
I kind of live by that philosophy too, with staying humble, and yeah, I think that's really good advice.
and always respect, you know, the and listen. I like to listen a lot. Like I have a lot of. So my friend, she's a pro, right, in Thailand. Women physique pro. She competed in the Olympia before back in 2017.
Okay.
So when she tried to give me like advice, I feel like, it's okay to listen.
Yeah.
Yeah, but sometimes we always like, oh, I don't want to listen. I'm gonna do me my own way. I think we all have to listen what they say because they have more experience than you.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, you can learn a lot for sure, and learn a lot from
yes.
others. Yeah. I think that's good advice for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I was curious, do you kind of find it tough mentally with like your body image when you go from like the lean competition condition to the bulking phase? Because I think a lot of women bodybuilders struggle with this due to body dysmorphia, but how do you feel about that?
I actually love my off-season look. I,
Oh,
I like
good.
to look big, yeah. I mean, looking lean is look good, but you have to go to that, path to get bigger, to grow for for prep. I mean, like my first show, it took me like a year to accept how I look off season
Hmm.
because you're not gonna look the same right on when you look lean.
Yeah.
So you have to go through it and accept it.
Now, and you told me it's amazing to think about, but you went up by like 25 pounds from NPC nationals to North Americans.
Yes,
Wow, that's so impressive, Jane. That's really amazing.
thank you. Were you there at the show last year?
Yes, I was. I was at that show. Yeah. You look good at that
I
show.
Oh, you saw me too, right? That
Uh-huh,
show.
I did.
Yeah. So what do you think about that show too now? I improved a lot, right?
I think you did. You really did improve a lot.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
you went from light heavyweight to heavyweight, right?
yes.
Uh-huh. I was very impressed. I thought you looked amazing.
Thank you.
And I think you have a good chance of getting pro card at the Amateur Olympia. I'm definitely going to root for you.
Thank you. I hope
Sure.
so too. I have feelings. Just gotta, put in work and go from there.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've already done so much improvements. I think you look amazing. Now, I was curious, do you have find it hard to keep up with the demands of social media? Because I would think a lot of fans would reach out to you, and especially since you did so well at North Americans this year. And I put a note here if FBB or female bodybuilding fans didn't know about you before, I bet they do now. But how do you deal with social media?
How do I do with social media? What do you mean by that?
Do you find it hard to kind of keep up with like requests from fans and comments on your posts and that kind of thing?
Um, I don't. Yeah, I just, I just keep to myself until the next show. I
Okay.
will post sometime, but not all the time.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Do you have to deal with trolls very often? Because we mentioned a little bit about trolls earlier.
I got like some negative comments too, but that's just what other people think. It doesn't bother me at all.
Okay,
Yeah.
there's the block button too. You block them.
I think like if you keep thinking about it, it's gonna hurt yourself even more.
Hmm.
Yeah. Just, leave them be.
Yeah, I think that's a good
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like, and yeah, just block them too. You don't need to deal with those people.
Yeah. I agree.
Well, that's all the questions I have. Is there anything else that maybe I neglected to ask you that you'd like to bring up here?
Um, so, who your favorite female bodybuilder?
Who's my favorite?
Yeah.
Right now I really like Sherry Priami. I'm excited about her going to the Rising Phoenix and the Olympia, and I think she could be top three at both of those. But I really like her a lot.
I think it's gonna be a good show though. I feel like I don't know who's gonna win. The I mean like Andrea always gonna be, top right.
Yeah.
But who do you think gonna be top three?
I think it might
Uh,
probably be Andrea. Let me think. I definitely Sherry in top three. Maybe Melissa Tyke. I like Melissa Tyke. And of course she'd have to. Well, I guess she's not quite qualified for the Olympia, but I think she could be. So we'll see.
yes, I just saw her post earlier. She looked good.
She does. She's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like her look a lot, and I think that she has a lot of potential.
Yeah, she's transformed from woman physique to bodybuilding, right?
She is. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
And yeah,
yeah,
she has a lot of potential.
I can see that too.
Yeah, so we'll see. I'm excited about both of those Rising Phoenix and the Olympia, and I'm a little worried I might not make the Olympia, even though it's in Orlando, because I have a conflict with work. So I'm going to try
Mm,
my best to get there, but I hope to get there and see it.
yeah, hopefully you can go and then we can meet up for sure.
Yeah, that'd be terrific.
Yeah, I'm gonna be there too.
Oh yeah, it'll be a great show. I went in
Yeah,
2021 and I really enjoyed it a lot. It was great.
yeah, yeah, that's about it. That's what I want to ask.
Well, thank you. And
Yeah,
thank you so much for joining me here. I really appreciate it. I'll get this
yeah, thank
posted
you.
soon.
I had fun talking to you though. It was
Thank
nice.
you. Oh yes,
Yeah,
thank you so much. I enjoyed talking to you too.
yeah,
And yeah, definitely I'll tag you soon on the interview, but I really appreciate your time.
thank you so much. Nice to meet you.
Nice
Bye
to meet you
bye.
too, Jane. Take care.
Take care.